Hello, this is GiBi for the Horror Homestead, and last night I was on T-Dread's stream and we were going over FNAF Ruin, trying to find ties to Secret of the Mimic. On the stream, YouTuber Fazbear Entertainment, or FazEnt, mentioned that there's a door sound you can hear at the end of the game, after you put David to bed, as if someone's coming inside.
Right at the end of that ending, when there's like a pause where it's like after David is fixing his sleep, you're just kind of sat there for a second, you can hear a door open and close in the background.
What? No way.
You're on meth. Let me go see this.
We watched a video with a clanging sound coming from our left.
What? Okay. Can I move, please?
Shit! It does.
That was a weird sound. Speculation began. Was this Edwin coming home? Was it Afton coming to check on the Mimic? Was it evidence that there were two Mimic endoskeletons? The David we just put to bed, and maybe the one still stomping around the house?
Yeah, and then the game fades out right after that. Okay, so It's either Edwin. We have three choices. It's Edwin, it's William Afton, or it is the M1 endoskeleton. Okay, you see, that doesn't help us, because that implies that another vent is opening. So after we heal David, a magical third vent that is some f***ing where opens for some f***ing reason.
Just because it's the same sound effect doesn't mean much.
Yeah, well, it means something. So it's not this vent reopening, because this vent is open. It's after we do that, a third vent opens.
T-Dreads wanted to test this in-game, but he clicked on it and his save files were all gone. Thank you, Steelwool.
Oh, all my game data has been lost. Well, that's nice.
No way!
Yeah, don't know how that happened, but all my game data is now gone.
Are you joking?
Nope.
So I went to my game and I skipped to the end of that section. Because I wanted to get there quickly, I actually cheated and just flew through walls. We couldn't figure out how to get it on stream, but I assure you that I played the game and there was no clanking sound. Since we'd found the sound in multiple videos, I was so sure it was gonna play that I wanted to test something. The audio was coming only from our left ear, so I wanted to position myself in the room to see if it would come from my right ear, thus implying it was through the vent, or if it would come from my left ear still, thus implying it was in the hallway outside of David's bedroom. This is what happened. Keep in mind that because I went through the door, we can still hear the Mimic stomping around outside. That does not mean there's two endoskeletons, it just means that the way that they created the trigger for the Mimic to spawn doesn't expect you to clip out of the room.
And
The noise did not play.
It didn't play?
Did not play. Nope.
It's a glitch. Okay, they patched it out.
We figured that maybe it was just something that was patched out because it was unintended. Or maybe it was something that only happened occasionally when sound effects lined up with the ending of the game. But that didn't really sit right with me. So this morning I booted up the game again, and this time I recorded it. This is what happens when you beat the game. As you just heard, there was no such sound. There was a weird pause in the sound effects. I can actually show you the audio wave. In my opinion, knowing a little bit about how video games work, this seems like the kind of pause that would happen between different sound files playing. So like the ambience and the music was ending for the game and was beginning to start the end credit sequence. So I thought, case closed, the clanking sound is just something that plays occasionally as ambience, and other people happen to get it right at the end of the game. But right before I made a video called There's No Clanking Sound at the End of Secret of the Mimic, I wanted to test something else. See, my first thought was that maybe the clanking sound was the vent that we crawl through. You have to find 6 tapes in order to unlock this ending, but I skipped past them and just flew through the walls. So my thought was that when the sound cut out toward the end of the scene, it was resetting environmental physics. Maybe it was deleting the Mimic from around the house. And in that moment of reset, something weird happened with the vent behind us. It's triggered to fall off the wall once you get all the tapes, so maybe it just re-triggered? It just closed and opened again because the world was deloading around you? So in order to test this, I went and I got all the tape recorders and I put them in the wall, and the vent fell off the wall, and it sounded just like the sound that it sounds like at the end of the game. So I went all the way through the ending again, by which I mean I clicked 4 buttons.
A pesky little puppy yapped and played fetch. They had so much fun.
That puppy just always yaps. And I listened for it. And yep, there's a clanking sound coming from your left ear. The clanking sound right before the game fades out is real, but it only happens if you properly trigger the ending by getting all the cassettes. If you skip past that and fly through the wall, it doesn't happen. Which to me meant it was definitely something to do with the vent opening. While getting the ending again, the sound actually triggered while I was putting the data diver into the mimic. I then flew out of my body to watch the vent as the game world fades. This is what happens as the game world fades out in Secret of the Mimic. And there you go. As the game fades out, as the game ends, the vent cover closes, and then immediately opens again.
So it's not this vent reopening, because this vent is open.
Yeah, you'd think so, T-Dreads, but this is Secret of the Mimic. There's probably some weird issue with the game world around you despawning that causes this event to trigger. It's probably the same reason that the ambience cuts out right before the end. It's sort of transitioning from the gameplay to a cutscene. And when that happens, there's just some glitch that causes the vent to close and open again on its own. So no, this is not Edwin coming home, it's not evidence of a second endoskeleton, it's not William Afton. It is a bug in the programming. Now there's obviously the possibility that this was actually done on purpose in order to create a banging sound for your character to hear so you'd know someone's coming. But I really doubt that. This kind of bug makes perfect sense to be here again as the game is fading to a cutscene. This is exactly the kind of oversight that would happen. I also think it would be very odd if, in order to tell the player that there's someone behind you, they played the metal grate vent opening sound, metal clanging on the floor. Whether or not it would be easy to just create a sound in 3D space to your left to indicate that a door is opening, I don't think they would intentionally use a sound you would have just heard on the other side of this wall. I can almost guarantee, with 99% certainty, that this was not intentional and is not a hint at the plot. If anyone who makes video games wants to leave their opinion with their expertise in the comments, I would greatly appreciate that. But this is one FNAF myth busted. Also, if someone else has already deconfirmed this, I was unaware of it. I literally made this first thing in the morning. Okay, thank you for watching.